We are back for more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Why are they fighting? Aren't they on the same team? What a bunch of nonsense. Oh, and this is actually nice. I like this, that whenever you come back to the game, they are kind enough to recap what's happening in the chapter that you're on. Espello was able to tell us quite a bit about this mysterious town. It seemed Carmina was conducting an investigation of his own in this great archive. But what? We followed Carmina's trail and eventually found ourselves at the great archive. It was merely a hunch, but we believed that there could perhaps be clues there that would help us solve the mystery of Labyrinthia. They didn't even go to the fact that we soundly defeated, whatever her name is. Delanor, I guess. With the purple curls. That was really amazing, overcoming Miss Mystere's trials like that. That reminds me, I have a puzzle of my own that feels right at home here in the library. A puzzle for true book lovers. But I like video games. Easy. It was incinerated. Mystery solved. Incinerate. You have to know what incinerate means in order to figure this one out. The books on the shelf were all out of order. When correctly arranged, the book's spines form an illustration. Rearrange the books so that they're correctly lined up. On the top screen, you'll see a picture of the books. And don't mind the burnt parts. It's still just as helpful. Wow. So, like... Is it just rearrange the stuff? Is there no... There's no deeper puzzle to it? You don't even need the thing. Whatever.
Allow me to show you puzzle-solving skills.
Layton can't answer that question. It's a good thing he has me. And it's a good thing I have you, Serp. Doesn't it feel good to have things neat and in order, he then said while sitting in the grossest apartment ever, which he never cleans. Just what I would expect from someone who sailed through Miss Mystere's trial. I must polish my own puzzle-solving skills. So are we going in the doors? Naturally. Puzzle solved. This is the special viewing room. This. I'm sure gentlemen such as yourself will understand, but seeing as this is a special room not open to the general public, I must insist that you all be on your best behavior. Alright. Wow, this room feels so grand and elegant. It's my first time in here too. I must admit I feel a little nervous. It certainly does give some indication of the importance of the book being kept here. That book in the center must be the Grand Grimoire. It's the Nox Decalogue, exactly. Man, this game, they copied a lot. They copied a lot from Umineko in the future in order to make this game. Actually, which one came out first? We don't even know. This is incredible. It's a book. It's crammed with information about magic. The people say it's the magic used by the witches. If that's so, then the magic we saw in London must be in here somewhere too. That may well be true, Luke. A tome as thick as this must surely contain such information. What is that heart emote? Is that from... I don't know, something? I don't recognize it. Finding it is a bit daunting, though. Huh? What's this? Professor, this page is different from the others. What is this? This page isn't about magic at all. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. Dots! Luke, this page, it appears to be addressed to someone, don't you think? Oh, you mean like a message? Let's read it, Professor. How can you think that it's addressed to somebody if you haven't read it yet? Just by looking at it. You go, diagonal text? That's a message. From a long time ago, the ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books, waiting for the awakening. When sun and moon watching over the sage swap places to show their true form, the door to the golden land will open. Once a person of perspicacity, which means to burn, has fulfilled the challenge, the door will be open. Until then, I will wait for the time of the awakening. It's a magnificently difficult puzzle. Switch places of the sun and moon. Easy. What is this? How can this be? Why is this in here? How did someone get this? How did something like this get into the Grand Grimoire? It's just not possible. I can't understand it. No one entered the special viewing room before you came here. It's a closed room mystery. Okay, awesome. And whenever someone enters this room, I always accompany them in this way. So, that means the page must have changed at some point, doesn't it? Dots. Could that really be possible? Perhaps with some kind of device. With device X! Exactly. No. That would be in violation of Nox's third. Unthinkable. There is only one key to this room, so no one can enter without being granted my permission. I assure you it's true, on my honor and goods. Repeated in red. But then, how can anyone have done this? Luke, I believe we both know who might be capable of such an act. Eh? You mean witches, don't you? We have to deny the witches. This can be explained without witchery. We don't know yet who changed that page, but the more important matter is what's written here. The infinite vault of books mentioned here presumably refers to the Great Archive, which implies that there is a secret of some sort hidden within the library. Professor, what about this part? A person of perspicacity? Well, I believe that could be referring to Carmina. He came here regularly to investigate, so it's certainly somewhat likely, which means our next objective is to find the answer that he was looking for. It's a bit of a spooky message, but if we can open this door to the past, then we'll surely be one step closer to solving this mystery. Just a moment, please. I'm the curator here, and I won't be allowing you to investigate anything without my permission. So you mean we can't investigate? Not at all. I'm simply insisting that you allow me to accompany you. Adjusts glasses. There should be no doors in this library that I don't know about. Nox is fourth. There are no hidden doors that the detective is not aware of. Investigate means to learn. I should have memorized the Decalogue. I'm a bad Umineko watcher. And even if there is something hidden somewhere, as suggested by this message, it is my duty as curator to know what that is. I completely understand, Miss Mystere. We can only benefit from your presence. Now then, how about we all make our way back to the entrance? Let's think about where this door could be from there. This is too fun. So, I guess, for anyone other than Serp, who doesn't know, Umineko Naku no Korone, which I said correctly this time, the visual novel that I'm currently watching on YouTube. I still have something like 50 hours of it left. It's so long, but it's really good. I'm at the good part finally, and we're just getting a lot of callbacks that are strangely reminiscent of this, including a character who has exactly the same hair as a character from that game that I just met. No, it doesn't. Really? That doesn't... Wait. I mean, I guess, okay, Umineku no Naku, like, the cry of the seagull. Okay, valid. Okay, so I said it correctly for me. I said it correctly according to what I thought it was. Grammar problem, not pronunciation problem. Okay, Umineko no... Why do they make it hard to say? Umineko no Naku koro ni. Gotcha. But Professor, supposing there is a door, that message is such a puzzle in itself. Don't you think it'll be difficult to find? You may be right, and this library is so large. Finding anything will surely take a great deal of our time. No, I think not. You're both missing something here. I believe I may well know what is meant by the words in this message. Really, Professor? Yes, if you'll just remember the wording. Okay, the whole thing? The whole wording? When the sun and moon watching over the sage swap places to show their true form. Easy. Sea cats. It is funny that they're called sea cats. We just saw it. We don't need it again. Come on. If you'll both take a look around this room, you'll notice we are surrounded by books. Very observant. There's probably nowhere else in the library with more books than there are right here. This is the only room of the library you've been in, besides the other one. The books extending all the way up. We're completely surrounded by them. And the key to opening this door is in the sun and moon watching over the sage. But what could that mean? There are no windows, so no light can come in from the sun or moon. Precisely, which means it is not the real sun and moon being referred to here. Did you think... Is everybody else thinking, oh, okay, we just need to send a rocket to the sun and another rocket to the moon with a lasso. And that's how you solve the puzzle. And they are located where they can watch over the sage. In other words, behind. I'm sorry? Perhaps you have already realized to whom the sage is referring? Right then, let's find the sun and moon watching over the sage and open the door. There's an owl. Maybe the owl is supposed to be the guardian of this door. Dewey, you haven't, by any chance, entered the special viewing room without my permission. He doesn't have a key. Pay attention, lady. Of course I haven't been in there. What are you saying, Miss Mystere? You always say that if anyone goes in there without permission, they'll have to solve 100 of your puzzles as punishment. If I had to solve that many puzzles, I'd go insane. Don't forget to come back on Saturday for Baba Is You, where I will be playing 100 puzzles. If you even considered becoming a librarian, I'd expect that much of you. Oh, wait, is there an actual mural of sun and moon? Jeez, wow. They made this real easy. He also never has his hands free. Valid. It's a sun and moon construction. Oh! So the sage must be... That's right, the sage of this library refers to the curator. And this sun and moon construction is located right behind her seat. So that's what the sun and moon... Okay, we get it. Was this harder in Japanese? When the sun and moon swap places, their true form will be shown and the door to the past will open. So all we need to do is work out what that means. But what does it mean by their true form? Well, if we interpret it at face value, it would suggest that we are currently seeing their untrue form. Have a look at this. There seems to be some sort of mechanism in place. Ah, Professor, if you look closely, there seems to be a puzzle hidden here. Ho ho ho. Wow. We are deep in Great Britain now. Maneuvere. Just spell it simple like Americans do. Maneuver the tile so that the sun and moon swap sides. Okay. They're gonna count, huh? I hope they don't judge me. They're gonna judge me. Based on how many moves it takes. Oh. No. Yeah. Ugh. There we go. 62. Can you do any better?
I've already seen the answer.
Boom. Because you were looking at my paper.
The joy of solving puzzles.
Success! The mysterious library puzzle is solved, but just what will happen next? We're gonna find out. I like how for the last 4,000 years she sat at this desk and not realized that there was a puzzle right behind it with, you know, that would have opened a secret door. Professor, there's a stairway! Who would have thought there could be anything like that? I was just saying, everybody. The ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books. I wonder just what we'll find down there. An entrance to a basement below the Great Archive? Am I right in thinking that you knew nothing of this stairway's existence? You baka. That's right, and if I, as the curator, knew nothing of it, then surely no one else could. It's hard to believe that a secret such as this could have been hidden here all this time. Who could have possibly left such a message? It might be wise not to let anyone see what has been revealed here. Kill everyone in the room. I agree. I'll be back as soon as I have asked the other visitors to leave the building. It's too late now. Or are they that unobservant? Freaking pitfall just opened up across the entire floor. They're like, I didn't say anything. Well then, are you both ready? You betcha. Let's go, Professor. You too, Espella. Okay then, Luke. This place appears to be some sort of historic site. It's amazing to think a place like this could exist under the library. I wonder when it dates from. Ah, that mural. It can't be. What do you think? This wall painting is a bit scary, isn't it? A monster attacking a burning town. Where do you see a monster? I just see fire. There's also a woman hurling fire. I suppose she must be a witch? That woman is the Great Witch. The Golden Witch? This certainly doesn't bode well. A painting of the Great Witch here. Do you know anything about the witch in this painting? You don't know of the Great Witch? But how can that be possible for a man of your learning? Well, that's... Never mind. I'm sure you must have your reasons. I don't wish to pry. I appreciate that. Would you mind perhaps telling us a bit about this witch? Could Layton solve the epitaph? I think it's clear that he could, with my help. Oh, I think maybe I was supposed to look at the painting first, before I talk to her. The woman in this painting is the Golden Witch, Beatrice. And this painting depicts the infamous legendary fire. That's a dumb name. Come on. You had how many thousands of years to think of a better name than the infamous legendary fire? The Densetsu no Honoyo. I do not see a person in there. Oh, is it just auto-playing? Okay. She's the root of all of Labyrinthia's woes. Okay, sure. The Great Witch, Beatrice. Yeah, I really don't see a person back there. What do you mean by the root of all of Labyrinthia's woes? The reason for all of Labyrinthia's suffering at the hands of witches lies in the very existence of the Great Witch Beatrice. All we have to do is deny her existence. Done. Puzzle solved. Would you mind elaborating? The Great Witch, Bezella. I'll give her the normal name, fine. The Great Witch Bezella is the source of all the other witches. As long as she exists, there will be no end to the other witches. While the Great Witch Bezella is with us, the townspeople will forever live in fear under the shadow of witches. So you mean that if there were no Great Witch, there would be peace? No Great Witch? That's easy enough to say. But while all of the knights have been searching for Bezella, nobody has ever been able to find her. There are very few clues, and no one has ever seen her in person. Nevertheless, the Great Witch Bezella is undoubtedly present in Labyrinthia. She said it in red. She used the red to state that Bezella is in Labyrinthia. This is great. How can you be so certain? Because her deep claw marks can still be seen throughout the town. Claw marks? You must all have seen them too. The traces of that fire when you entered this library. Ah, yes. There was a part of this building that had suffered noticeable damage. Bezella is a fearful witch who has all other witches doing her bidding. Long ago, this town was reduced to ashes as the result of her fiery magic. Reduced to ashes? That must have been, let me see, 100 or so years ago. Bezella Cantabella. I mean, I think it's closer to Beatrice. That's what I'm going to keep calling Oh, wait, you're saying Aspella. Aspella Cantabella is going to turn out to be Bezella. Seems likely. It was on the evening of the Fire Festival. The Matsuri de Honoyo? Held every year in honor of the Great Witch Bezella. The Great Witch's fury was unleashed without warning as the entire town burned. That's terrible. That was the Densatsu no Honoyo. Every person in this town knows about it. The Densatsu no Honoyo. The rebuilding of the town was a long and arduous process. And all the while, Bezella must have been watching and laughing from the shadows. That's awful. Even now, the legend of long ago continues to cause real suffering amongst the townsfolk. To think that a painting of that fearful witch could be right here in the basement of my beloved library, hidden behind a child's puzzle that only took 62 moves to solve. What is it doing here of all places? There's nothing for it. I'll just have to have this room sealed shut. Please, let's keep the existence of this room strictly between ourselves. And then she turns up murdered in here. I see where this is going. For the good of the people. As for me, I shall do my best to forget all about this hidden room. I'm afraid I'd rather not remain in here a minute longer. It's time I started closing up the library for the day. I can't help but feel we've done something wrong. Luke, do you recall the words towards the end of that message? Do you mean, until then I will wait? That's right. When we opened this door, or rather, when we were guided towards opening this door, I could sense someone's will at work. It's almost as if our following Carmina and coming to this library had all been planned out in advance. Surely you don't mean that we were beckoned here by the Great Witch Bezella? Dots, Bezella dots. Anime time.
Huh? Is something the matter? Are you feeling all right, Espella?
Yes, I'm fine, really. Espella? Yes? What is it?
It's just that, well, you've been so quiet.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just that this room, it's a little chilly, don't you think?
Fire has a tendency to do that.
Sinister. Not to mention that scary picture. Maybe it's about time we made a move from here?
Yes, indeed.
Don't mind me just remembering my evil personality. Those words at the end of the message. I will wait. What if we weren't meant to be the ones being called here? Or what if we weren't meant to be the ones being called here? Well. So anything with that L with the Layton hat is finished, I guess. Right. Right. Phew, it's much more relaxing here, isn't it? I felt so intense and claustrophobic down there. Yes, it certainly did. Today's been full of surprises. Not only did I meet up with you two again, but we also found that mural in the library. It seems that this town really does hold a mysterious secret, doesn't it? What shall we do now? I'd certainly like to learn more about this magic. We've been in here for quite some time. It must be getting late. It's probably best if we wind up our investigating for today and take a rest. You must both be feeling tired. Yes, I suppose you're right. I'd be happy to do a little more investigating with you two. But I have an errand to run before it gets too late. I'm still up for investigating further. Whatever the puzzle, I'm ready to solve it. Oh, was that a stomach noise? Okay. I could hear your tummy rumbling from here just now. Well, I can't pretend I'm not a little hungry. If you haven't arranged accommodation yet, why don't you both stay at the bakery? There is a room free, so I'm sure it'd be all right. And Mrs. Eclair would love to have you. What do you say? Well, if you put it like that, we'd be delighted to stay. Thank you, Espella. And there's all that delicious bread, too. I'm looking forward to it already. Professor Layton, do you have to be going? Yes, sorry for all the trouble we put you to. Not at all. Although I still can't get used to there being a secret room under the library. It's been a while since I last met someone capable of solving my puzzles. And as I promised, you have my permission to borrow the Grand Grimoire. If you have any need for it in the future, please do drop by and let me know. Thank you very much, Miss Dear. It's been a pleasure. There is just one more thing. A puzzle! No. I have all of Labyrinthia's oh, good. As you continue with your investigations here in Labyrinthia, there will likely be puzzles you can't solve or which you do not find. Such puzzles will come to me. Good. Alright. Puzzles we cannot solve, whatever you say. Okay. Alright. I will be waiting. Please take care out there. Okay. If I remember rightly, the storyteller's latest story did mention the evening. You take care too. Until we meet again, Miss Mystere. So can I do that right now? Because I've probably missed a couple puzzles. Wow, it's already this dark out here. I didn't realize we were in there for so long. It looks as if it must have been raining up until a moment ago. The ground is still wet. Yes, and that reminds me of what Mrs. Eclair was saying before we left. She said you might want to hurry. It looks like it might rain at any time. Let's get a move on. You two is spelled... Hey, where is she? That's strange. She's not here. I turned my head 5 degrees to each side and didn't see her. She must have vanished. Perhaps she's still in the Great Archive. Hello? Slowly does it, step by step. Oh, are you two still here? Can you let me through? I have to lock up. Hello, Dewey. Have you seen Espella? If you're looking for Espella, she left while you were still talking to Miss Mystere. I wonder why. She said something about having to buy some milk, even though it was still raining. Yes, I do remember Mrs. Eclair asking her to get some milk for the bakery. It was raining, you said. Yes, it started raining about the time you all went down to the library basement. When Espella left just now, it did look as if the rain was about to stop. Yes, she left a message for you. She said to go back without her. She didn't have to go alone, especially in the dark. She'll be fine if it's only milk she needs to get into the market. It's not far, she'll be back soon. I'd more be worried about you two being in danger. You know, in the story it said there were 2 companions. If your work here is finished, then I suggest you both go home. I don't want to get caught up in anything. Luke, why don't we head back to the bakery and wait for Espella there? I suppose so. I guess she'll be all right, right? And so they went back into the library immediately. What? Let me in. You let me in. I want to do the lost puzzles. It's not gonna let me. Oh well. Professor, I smell fresh baked bread. Let's go inside. Yes, we could. Although we could also take a walk around town at night. If there's nothing else you'd particularly like to see, perhaps we should head back in. Evening, gents. Isn't Espella with you? Do you know Espella? Do I know her? There isn't a person in this town who doesn't know Espella. I didn't realize she was so famous. I've known some ignorant people, but you two really do take the biscuit. Is that what they say in jolly old England? If you knew her better, then I doubt you'd be spending so much time with her. What's that supposed to mean? Espella is a lovely person. I don't know how you can say that. Personally, I don't enjoy talking about her in that way either. Strange. You are also strange, Mr. Stretching Man. Alright, this is going. Take that. Oh, nice. Bread for dinner. Welcome back. I've prepared the evening meal already. Wow, it looks great. Hang on. Where's Espella? I'm afraid we were separated when she went to get that milk. Has she not come back yet? Oh dear, maybe I was asking too much of her. Could you pick up some milk? I was asking too much of her. My apologies. I should have stopped her had I had the chance. It's nothing you need to worry about, Mr. Layton. That girl knows her way around. I'm sure she'll be back soon. Let's go ahead and eat while waiting for her. Seems rude. I love it when we all get to eat together. Meals are much more enjoyable that way. I've never had bread and jam that tasted this good before. I hope Espella gets back soon. Oh yeah, you guys went out to the Great Archive with her, didn't you? Did you find what you were looking for? Well, it's a bit of a mystery, really. What do you mean? In truth, we went there to investigate the mystery that is Labyrinthia. However, what we found instead was quite the puzzle. Oh, right. A puzzle, huh? You know, I get the impression puzzles are pretty popular in this town. Do you not know what a puzzle is, Nick? Not that I know exactly. Well, we spend all our time baking. It's not really the kind of thing we're supposed to know about, I guess. Indeed, it appears the two of you are a little unsure about the concept of puzzles, somehow. Say, Mr. Layton, do you think you could give us a little Puzzles 101 crash course? I'm kind of curious. It would be my pleasure, Miss Fay, but rather than explaining it in words, I believe actually trying your hand at a puzzle would be far more rewarding. Here, I'll give you both a 50 Pickerats puzzle. Now then, here we have 2 long loaves of bread, placed side by side. You'll notice that they form the number 11. Do you see what I mean? Oh yeah, I get it. So that's what a puzzle is! Not quite, Miss Fay. The puzzle is what follows next. What I'd like you to try is, I'd like you to see if you can change this into a number lower than 11. A lower number? So how about if I take one of the loaves? However, the one condition is that you must add another loaf of exactly the same type. You need to add another loaf? Even though we add a loaf, the number has to be lower. I think I'm beginning to see what you mean by puzzle. Wait, I think I've got it. I may just be a baker, but I bet I have the right answer. If I place the extra loaf sideways like this, then 1 minus 1 equals 0. Oh, give me a break, Nick. That's totally the letter H. We're trying to solve a puzzle here, not win a spelling bee. Oh, come on. I can't be the only one that sees 1 minus 1, right? Right? Turning it into a matter of arithmetic is certainly an interesting approach. You think so? Most certainly. That's precisely the kind of flexible thinking needed for solving puzzles. Next, I would like you to cut this cheese into 8 pieces using only 1 cut. Now, let's think again. Take a seat and leave this to a pro, Nick. How about this? You just take this new loaf and... ta-da! Now that's 1 minus 1. Hey, eating is cheating. Really? Because it feels more like winning to me. You're full of surprises, Miss Fay. I didn't expect that kind of innovation. I solved the puzzle and enjoyed the bread. Win-win, baby. But... didn't Mr. Layton tell us at the start that we need to add another loaf of the exact same type? Huh? Seriously? That's right, unfortunately. I'm afraid I can't accept this as a solution to the puzzle. Well, alright, but is there really another better solution? Well, what do you think? Can either of you think of a different solution? I'm drawing a blank. I guess this kind of thing just isn't for me. You both came up with such creative answers. I'm sure you'll be solving puzzles in no time. But now, it's time for the solution. The important thing in this puzzle solution is the angle of the loaf that is added. If the new loaf is placed upright, like so... Really? That's a lot lower than 11. It's also dumb. Exactly. When solving puzzles, there is never just one correct method. That's a lie. That's a total lie. When solving puzzles, there's never just one correct method? What about the puzzles that only have one correct method, huh? Have you ever thought of that? It's essential to think flexibly and try many means to solve it. Sometimes critical thinking is the key to success. Right, I see what you mean. These puzzles are really something else. Well, if I see another puzzle like this, I'd still rather eat my way to the solution. You know, I don't think I'm cut out for brain-busting bread puzzles like this. I'll stick with good old regular bread, thanks. But that's because we're ace bakers. I guess we're better suited to using our hands than our heads. Is that so? In truth, I can't help but feel you're both a little out of place as bakers, if you'll pardon my saying so. Naturally, I won't force puzzles upon you. But if either of you should be interested, I would heartily recommend giving puzzle solving a try. Professor, right now there's something else we all need to try. Miss Eclair's freshly baked bread is going to... Okay. I'm sure it tastes better hot. Oh dear, so it is. You know how I can be when it comes to puzzles. Alright. Well, young man, I must say it's a pleasure to have someone show such appreciation for my baking. When it comes to your bread, Miss Eclair, there's no limit to how much I could eat. Dots. Luke! You shouldn't have said that. My, aren't you a darling? Well, in that case, I suppose I'll just have to bring out my special reserve. Hold on, no, I was just going to fetch it. Oh no, she's going to take bread out? Right, I think it's time I started preparing tomorrow's bread. Oh, yes, me too. I'm sure it must be that time already. Professor, what was that all about? I'm not entirely sure, but I do seem struck by a sudden sense of impending doom. Sorry to have kept you waiting. There you go, have at it. But be warned, I won't take kindly to any leftovers. Whoa, this loaf! Wait, where did those two go? Miss Maya, Mr. Wright? Luke, it would appear that we have been left to tackle this particular task alone. That humor was a little bit of a mess. Phew, I'm stuffed. I believe this must be the most bread I've ever eaten in my life. Wait a sec. I've just realized we've finished eating, but Espella still isn't back yet. She went to the market, didn't she? Perhaps we ought to go and... Oh my, customers at this late hour? I'm sorry, but we're closed. That's him, that man over there. So he's the one, is he? Just a minute. What do you think you're doing barging in here like this? You need a warrant. Stand aside, madam. This is a matter of urgency. What? What are you going to do? You there, Porcupine Head. You're coming with us. Huh? Porcupine Head? You don't mean me, do you? Who else in this room fits that description? Certainly, you would appear to be alone on that particular front. Wish I had a top hat too right about now. Enough of your idle chit-chat. Time to get going. Huh? What do you mean? Well, it should be quite obvious. You're coming to the court, of course. The court? What? Mr. Wright, what did you do? Yeah, Nick, what did you do? I didn't do anything. The only thing you could accuse me of is making bread that's too good to eat. Ahem, this man is not the one who's on trial. In that case, why is Mr. Wright being made to go to the court? That's simple, because the girl has requested him, of course. Girl? What girl? Naturally, the girl facing trial for this evening's crime. Naturally. You should have assumed that. That heinous witch. Miss Espella Cantabella, no less. To be continued. Alright, we made it out of the Layton portion, and now to expertly defend her in trial. Ah, okay. It's not until the end of the chapter that they send all of the other puzzles over there. And I probably can't do them while I'm Phoenix Wright. Ever X, Professor Hitan.